Hey guys, it's Jay. Welcome back to the channel. What a time! What a time that we live in right now, guys. This is nuts. I mean, like, I have been wishing and dreaming and hoping for Master Universe to come back, for such a long time. And you know what? 2 years ago, coming up to 3 years now, it's getting crazy that that happened. Right in 2020, we got our first look at the Master Universe Origins figures, and the Masterverse followed suit thereafter. Then a television series came out with Revelations. Then we got a kids show, for He-Man and the Master Universe. So much Motu leading up to the 40th anniversary of Master Universe. Just an insane time to be a fan of Master Universe and toys in general. We've been having such a crazy resurgence of 80s action figures, whether it be Master Universe, whether it be GI Joe, so many different properties, Ghostbusters, right? It just kept coming in waves, and it doesn't seem like it's going to stop anytime soon. Star Wars is making a comeback, just absolute massive insanity in terms of like 80s and 70s, 80s, properties coming back. Gargoyles from the 90s, just crazy, just absolutely nuts. And what a time to be a cartoon fan and a toy fan, all in one. Now, some of the other things did happen in between. Revelations, it had its own kind of rocky start. I mean, and I've said this multiple times here on this channel. I think that when Kevin Smith first went to PowerCon, that's where all the speculation happened. That's where a lot of people started saying things like, "Oh, they're secretly doing something with the series. It's not going to be the same He-Man that we grew up with." And you know what? The truth is, why would it be? I mean, have you actually taken the time to watch the Filmation cartoon lately? Let's just say that after the first season, the second season's pretty good, but when you start getting the third, you know what I mean? Like, that's where things start to, you really start to see the type of episodes which were mostly filler, and that's when you start realizing that this is a kids show, like a real kids show. So what Kevin Smith did was to bring that into the narrative and start bringing it back to what would happen if people of today, the people who grew up on this, actually started watching He-Man again. Well, you know what? We want a little bit more of a better storyline. We want something more expansive, something different, and that's exactly what we got. But that came with its own set of controversies, and some people loved it. Some people absolutely hated it. Some people didn't even bother watching it. And you know what? To those people, I say, don't knock something until you actually watch it. And I've said that multiple times. You need to watch something and truly understand if you like it or hate it. Because sometimes you can still not like a series, but still see something good in it along the way. And I've been a huge proponent of that. And then, the two seasons ended, and I just felt like I wanted more. And, soon thereafter, like about 6 months or so, they announced, Kevin Smith and the producers of the next list series announced that with a wonderful teaser image that Revolution would be the next series in the line. And then pretty much everything went silent for a little while, and then all of us were just questioning: is this really going to happen? Is it dead in the water? Rumors started happening that the Netflix kids series, the CGI version, was gonna be canceled as well. But you know what? Then the person who said that rumor said, "Don't be quoting me, because that's not what I said." Weird things are happening all over the place. But this just proves to me and proves to a lot of people that Master Universe is so sought after. Master Universe is so loved by the fans that everybody still wants Master Universe in their life, and that to me is huge. And then there's this ongoing rumor about a movie. I will believe it when I see it, guys. I'm sorry. I've seen too many scripts and too many proposals and promises and blah 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 blah. Too much, right? When it finally happens and I finally see a trailer for it, then I'm gonna say, okay, fine, this is something that we can do. But only 2 weeks ago, something amazing happened, right? For Master Universe Revolution. and I was living under a rock. Apparently, I think that myself and a lot of us here we were all living under a rock, because the wonderful channel Dad at Arms was able to do an interview with Ted Biaselli. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably screwing it up because I'm terrible that way. But he's the executive producer of the Netflix He-Man Master of the Universe Revelations and now Revolution. And they went through an entire interview, and it was amazing. Answered a lot of questions, and I didn't even show. I did a reaction video with permission from Colt. The Dad at Arms himself, and I was so humbled and grateful to do that. And I really was amazed at what I saw. That video that Colt did was incredible, and you should go watch it yourself. Head over to Dad at Arms on YouTube. Definitely give him a like and a follow, and tell him that Jay sent you, because that video needs to be watched in its entirety. So many wonderful anecdotes, so many things, and just to heighten that tonight, I wanted to welcome Colt to the show tonight, because honestly, I caught him right when he was going to bed, putting the kids to sleep. And you know what? I'm so grateful to have him here tonight, guys. Please help me give a warm welcome to Colt of Dad at Arms. Colt, how are you tonight, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
Good to see you, brother. Oh my gosh, just this is wonderful to have you here tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah. So seriously, I checked out the rest of your channel. You had the Master of the Mini Comics on there, a good friend of the channel here as well. They're doing amazing work. Robert over there. And again, you have such wonderful content. As always, it can be difficult for people to discover you. So I'm so glad that you're here tonight. Please tell us a little bit about your channel and some of the guests that you've had on in the past, and of course, how people can contact you if they want to start following you. Please tell us a little bit more about your channel, my friend.
Okay. So I'll introduce myself. My name is Colt. I run the Dad at Arms channel, as was mentioned. I honestly, I'm a small channel, and I've only been doing this for a few months. But what I've been able to do is I've been reaching out to creators and fans who have been doing standout things in the Masters of the Universe community. And I've just been talking to them. And I started doing this because, I've always been a fan of Masters of the Universe since way back in the 80s, with a kid, grew up with it, loved it all, had toys, all of it. You see my wall behind me. And I love this stuff. And so I started reaching out to these people because, I wanted to ask questions, about different things. And it all kind of started with Revelation. I watched the show. I enjoyed the show. I didn't understand the controversy behind it. People like what they like. But yeah, so I reached out and I started talking to people and I started asking questions, and I decided I was going to start recording these interviews and posting them on YouTube for others to see. And if people like it, that's great. That's kind of basically all it is. I have a journalism or a background in journalism, excuse me. And so I'm using the skill set that I have that to be able to talk with these people and to interview them and get this information out there. And hopefully there's other fans out there like me who want to know and are willing to, seek out the facts and what these people are bringing to the table and what they're trying to do with Masters of the Universe. Yeah, that's really about it. I guess for the guests that I've had on, I've had a few different fans on who have done things. One of my, my very first interview was a wonderful friend of mine. Her name is Maria Dos Lunas, and she, writes fan fiction. She does customs, and she's just really fun to talk to, and somebody that I've chatted to for quite a while. And so she helped me out by doing, kind of doing that first interview. And then from there, I've talked with Tim Sheridan, who was one of the writers and one of the writers for Revelation and also going into Revolution. So get more insight on that project and kind of what his experience was in helping to create that. I've talked with Tim Seeley, who wrote the, Masters of the Multiverse comic run. a few years ago. He's done tons of comics for Masters of the Universe. Right now he's currently writing them. Well, he's written them, but they're in stores now. The Masterverse comics, which the toys are based on. So I chatted with him. I've talked with Brian Q. Miller, who was the head writer for the CGI series. Got a lot of great information out of him and a lot of insight out of him. And I mean, I talked with the actress who played Teela for the she put out a short film as an audition tape to hopefully land the role of Teela for the live action film if that ever happens. She was wonderful to talk to. Her name's Emily Ann Ashby. She was great, and so I've talked with artists who have worked on the brand for years. I've talked with writers. I've talked with James Eatock. I've talked with Yuka. I've talked with Nate Barch. Just all kinds of really cool people that have been part of this Masters of the Universe community for decades. It's just been something that I've really enjoyed. I've loved reaching out to these people and talking to them, and it's been pretty great. I mean, if you're interested, you can reach out to me. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter, obviously through my through the YouTube channel, but it's all just Dad at Arms. So, you search that handle, you're sure to find me, and it's all the links are posted on my channel. So that's really about it, man. I hope that answers your questions.
Yeah, no. It definitely 100% answered my question. So Colt, let's get a little bit of let's get to know each other a little bit here. So,
Okay.
I love your collection. Just looking at your background, you know what I mean. I'm so jealous of your Master Universe Classics Castle Grayskull. That's something I completely missed out on. I'm kicking myself because, I was actually. I remember seeing it on Big Bad Toy Store once for half of what it was, and I at the time I was like, do I really want to spend? Even though it was half of the cost originally, it was still a lot of money. And I was like, do I really want to like? And it's that thing we're always like, it'll still be there when I get back. And you know what? It wasn't. Right? It was gone within like a week, and I'm kicking myself because I now I have. I show this off to people. Like I have the Snake Mountain, right? And
Beautiful.
it literally is, a lonely. It's a lonely mountain, man. It really is, the crown jewel of my collection. But it's alone. You know what I mean? It doesn't have the companion piece. It doesn't have what it needs, right? Tell us a little bit about how you got into the fandom. How did you get involved? Or
so
the love of Master of the Universe. What was that?
Yeah, I mean, I was born in the early '80s, so I was a child of the '80s. So like every kid, I was just caught up in the Master of the Universe craze that happened. I guess my first memories of it were the Golden Books storybooks. I would go with my mom to a local craft store, and they had a little book section, and she'd always let me go pick out a book, and I was always drawn to those Masters of the Universe storybooks, that were published by Golden Books. And the main thing I remember is there was a companion VHS tape that it was very, very minimal animation and some narration and music and stuff that went along with. It was basically a collection of the first 4 stories that were in those storybooks, all compiled into one thing. And that's basically my earliest memory of the fandom, even before the Filmation cartoon, before I got into that. But yeah, from there it was the toys, it was the cartoon, and then moving forward, and 2000 happened, and I was living in Canada when that revival first hit, and so I kind of missed a little bit of it at the very beginning, but caught up once I got back to the United States. I was able to have the time to be able to do those kind of things. And yeah, it's just something that I've always loved, something I've always been a part of and enjoyed. And now we're in this resurgence, as you said, this renaissance of Masters in the Universe. And we've got, we had 2 new shows. We've got the rumors, like you said, of a live action film. And I'm like you, the joke I always say is that when I'm watching the credits roll at the end of the movie, that's when I'll believe that there's going to be a new He-Man movie that we can watch, is after I watch it. But yeah, I mean, we've got tons of new toys. We've got multiple toy lines that are easily available. I went through the Matty Collector days of trying to get toys through that website service, and being online right as the drops would hit and hoping that my internet connection would hold up and I'd be able to get what I wanted. Yeah, I've just always been a part of it. A fun story about my classics castle. That was, when they released that, it was a crowdfunded thing, and I decided to pass on getting that castle because it was a little too expensive. My wife and I were newly married. I was in college. I was a broke college student, and I just made the decision that I wasn't going to do it. And then for Christmas, it showed up for Christmas. My wife had secretly bought it for me and surprised me with it, which was just a huge, huge thing. So a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, I've been a part of this fandom, and I've loved Masters of the Universe for as long as I can remember. So I love it all.
So it's funny you should mention the golden books, because while you were talking, I knew it. It was on my desk somewhere, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna find this thing before he stops talking. And I believe it or not, you won't believe this. Yeah, I found it. So
Yep.
There it is. The Mask of Evil. Oh my God! And this actually is not mine. This was gifted to me by a very good friend of mine, David, and he found this because he knows how much of a big Masters of the Universe fan I am, and he basically said, Jay, happy birthday. Here is, the something which I found, and I knew I had it, and I knew you'd appreciate it more than anybody else.
So
I was like, holy crap! Thank you, David. David, thank you if you're watching. This is just crazy. So yeah,
that's awesome. So, I'm gonna walk right over to my shelf that's right in front of me. Just give me like 2 seconds.
Go. So, guys, this is a wonderful opportunity, and you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and solo Colt's collection. Look at that room, like, oh my God, just crazy. I mean, we can see Castle Grayskull up there. We can see a whole bunch of classics figures. The box for the new Castle Grayskull Origin set. I mean, wow, what a beautiful collection. Yeah, we're just admiring your collection there, Colt.
Awesome. That's why it's there. There's this wall. I've got my wall over here that's got the vintage stake mount, the 2000X Castle Grayskull, tons of Masterverse toys, DVD collections, and then the wall in front of me is all my Ninja Turtle stuff and Batman stuff and things like that. But yeah, over on that bookshelf, I mean, I'll try to get that glare off there. But just
a
whole pile of these.
Oh wow!
We've got the Caverns of Fear. We've got Sword of Skeletor. We've got the He-Man versus the Rock Warriors.
Yeah, the Rock Guys. Yeah.
Dragon.
Oh, that was my favorite. The
Mask of Evil.
There it is, Mask of Evil. Yeah.
Yep, A Hero in Need. And the Thief of Castle Grayskull. And then we've even got the. These are a little bit goofier because the cover art isn't as good.
Oh yeah, those are perfect. Yeah.
Yeah,
the hardcovers, love it.
Yeah, and then a good old.
Oh, the activity book,
coloring book. I love this one because one of my favorite things about Masters of the Universe is He-Man and Teela, and so whenever they're together, I love it. In fact, this is how dorky of a fan I am. When I got married to my wife 17 years ago, we had a vintage He-Man and Teela on top of our wedding cake.
Oh God, that's so cute.
As the wedding topper. So
that is so cute. Oh my gosh.
There they are right there. So these were on top of our wedding cake.
That is so crazy.
So that, but I mean, like I said, it's been a part of my life for as long as I can remember.
That is so awesome. She's a keeper, man. Like, make her keep
her.
Oh,
absolutely.
Keep her happy.
She's my Teela.
Yeah, 100%. I wish I could find someone as understanding, because again, not everybody understands what we do. Not everybody understands what connection we have to these plastic little guys. Like it's not an easy thing to understand for a lot of people. But if you know. So Colt, just to touch up on a few things that I wanted to cover with your interview with Ted was amazing. Man, I'm so excited at what the possibilities are. let's for people who didn't watch the interview. Can you tell us a few more details that Ted gave you in terms of what we know? Because
Sure.
there were things which we couldn't talk about, but of course there are things that we were able to find out. Please tell us everything, and then if I remember something, I'll ask you again. So tell
Okay.
us what Ted was able to relate to you.
So what Ted was able to tell me, we'll kind of cover briefly what you covered in your reaction video. 5 episodes. The series was, it was renewed, officially announced last year in June. I believe it was June 8th of 2022 is when they officially announced Revolution. But yeah, 5 episodes. It's a full story. They're not holding episodes. A lot of people are, there's rumors flown around that they have 10 episodes, but they've split it up in 2 parts again, like they did with Revelation, and that's not the case. It's 5 episodes. It's telling, it's telling a story of He-Man versus Skeletor, and Hordak will be there, but he's not the main villain. It's a very He-Man versus Skeletor centric storyline. She-Ra won't be making an appearance, and that's due to the entertainment rights of the character, which I know people are disappointed. But I mean, it's what it is. They're trying to get her on to be able to be there, but it's just, I don't understand the rights issues, and so I can't even begin to explain what's going on, but they cannot use her because of those rights. One thing that he talked about a lot of, and this goes into a lot of the insight that he gave on Revelation and the choices they made with Revelation. One of the big, and this is something that Tim Sheridan confirms too in my interview with him, is that one of the driving themes of Revelation was the relationship between Adam and Teela. The reason she gets so upset, she finds out this secret that has been withheld from her as one of He-Man's, battle companions, his trusted companions, and she wasn't trusted with that secret for good reason. It was to protect her, and that was He-Man's decision, and then he was counseled to keep that secret close to protect the people he loves, and they ran out of time, and next thing you know, he's dead, and Teela's left to kind of pick up the pieces and deal with that grief that comes from losing someone that you love, but also finding out that, yeah, there's things about him that she didn't know, the most intimate part of him she didn't know. She wasn't privy to that. And so, yeah, all of that, all of those decisions, the reason she was angry, the reason she left, it was all stemming from those deep, complicated feelings.
Yeah.
Right. And so the whole idea was to bring heroes low, right? Because what makes the characters that we love, what makes them heroes is to see them be built up and to come back from these difficult situations, and that was what they tried to do. I mean, He-Man died, and then he came back 3 episodes later, and then the remainder of the series was him, getting the sword back and becoming He-Man again. And Teela's journey, they had to get her from the brash, from the impetuous captain of the guard that she was, to a more measured, a wiser woman who was ready to take on the mantle of the sorceress. And so she had to go through this tempering fire, and that was her journey.
Absolutely.
And all of it related back to her relationship with Prince Adam and the love that they have for each other. Mm-hmm. And that's something that, Ted confirmed that's going to be explored more in Revolution. And if you know the canon, if you know the lore of the series, the Eternity War comic shows He-Man and Teela getting married by the end of it. They've been, I did a whole video on this, man. Like, I did a whole 3-hour video where I went through all the comics, all the cartoons, everything, and just did a full breakdown of every instance of, their relationship with each other and what it means and what it's building to. And we've been waiting for 40 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And what really first of all, I myself am a huge fan of this series. Did I like everything in it? No, I didn't like everything that was in it. There were parts which I thought were rushed in my opinion. But what can you do with 10 episodes? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like how much story can you really tell in 10 episodes, right? I think that just to put it out there, Kevin Smith, was announced as the writer, right, and the showrunner, right, and
Yeah.
as everyone knows, Kevin Smith, he likes to poke the bear. He's a shit disturber. I mean, this is the way he is. I mean, like, that's his shtick, right? But because of that, he will do things which are going to rub people the wrong way. And I think that's where he got off on the wrong foot with fans at a certain point. But he just basically was a hype man too at the same time. And at the time, the opening of Master Universe Revelations was one of the biggest openings for a television show on Netflix for cartoons. And you know what? That's something that's saying a lot, right? The second season, I think, was a little bit less, but still had a lot of people in the first episode when it was aired again. And it's done well enough, as Ted said, to warrant another season. So
Right.
that speaks volumes. That's huge.
It does, and it's one of those things, that Netflix is a company that if they're not making money on something, if they're not getting the views, if they're not getting the numbers, they're not going to continue a show. So I mean, the very fact that we have a follow-up series with Revolution is the evidence that Revelation was successful enough to warrant more. And I mean, that's what it is. I mean,
yeah, and
there's so much money that goes into these things that they're not going to waste money on a show that didn't do well.
No, 100%. And not only that, let's not joke about this. It's about toys, right?
Sure.
This is Mattel's television brand, and again, I'm always gonna be the first one to say that the Filmation version was on its own a wonderful television series. And the truth is that, in my opinion anyway, it was more of an entertainment value than it was about selling toys. But if I was to negate or ignore the idea that this was the basic idea of it was to sell toys, I'd be an idiot. We have to recognize that toys are somewhere in this equation, because again, Filmation put up the money, or they wanted a television series to support the toy line, and that's what they did. And because of that, we're getting multiple toys, time and time again, whether it's the 2000X series, whether it's the New Adventure series, whether it's Master Universe Revolutions or Master Universe He-Man and the Master Universe Netflix series. At the end of the day, Mattel is looking to actually make toys out of this. And you know what?
Yeah.
I love that. You know what I mean? I love the fact that we're getting toys again. I love the fact that these came back, to the shelves. I love the fact that Masterverse is so good and getting better and better and better every single time we get a new action figure. I mean, for crying out loud, Too Bad is just freaking incredible. He's
beautiful,
right? And Whiplash, oh my God, when he finally gets dropped, I think people are going to lose their minds. Like, this is
well, even, I just picked up the new Man-at-Arms. A friend of mine found it for me in a Target where he's from, Vex. I know he watches your show, so if he's watching, thank you to him for sending me this figure. But it's the new Man-at-Arms, the deluxe Man-at-Arms, where he's in the Exile, where he's got all the extra armor, and I mean, that's a beautiful figure.
Well, he's
fantastic.
He's a dad at arms at that point, right?
He's the dad at arms. So I have an affinity for that figure.
Absolutely. I mean, he truly was a father at arms at that point, because
he was.
They had become estranged, right? And then they reconnected at the time where they needed each other most, right? And I love those little moments in the series. And it's a shame that some people did not watch the series for what it was. I remember during the run of the series, a lot of people who whether or not they understood what was going on, there were people who said, I won't watch this on principle. And I think that's true. I think that's a damn shame, because you know what? Why are you? And I said at the beginning of the stream, why are you ragging on this if you've never even watched it? You can't even in my opinion, you shouldn't be criticizing anything until you've actually seen it.
Right.
I mean, like, how do you know what you're talking about? You have no idea.
It's like, it's like giving a book report on a book you haven't read.
Exactly. You can fake it as long as you think you can. Yeah. But you know what? And you know what? I was seeing a lot of reports and a lot of speculation on so many different YouTube channels, which were just trying to beat this series down. at one point it was floated around that Teela shaved her head and became a lesbian, right?
Right.
And I was like, I'm not seeing that. And then people were
No.
like, oh, Andra's her girlfriend. I'm like, what are you guys? Am I not seeing something that you guys are seeing? Right? I mean, they're friends. I can
Yeah,
definitely. They've gone through.
they're friends. They're
they've-
battle compatriots.
exactly.
But even
They've gone
in the series itself,
right?
it's episode 3 when when they go to find Man at Arms and they're walking through the jungle and Eva Lynn and Teela are talking to each other about the men in their lives. And,
Yeah. And
Eva
even
Lynn mentions, she's like, I'm not the only one here carrying a torch.
yeah.
I'm a journalism, graduate. My degree is in English and communication, so that phrase "carry the torch" is very significant and specific. It means to hold on to romantic feelings for somebody who is not there anymore, either dead or out of the picture.
Yeah,
and to hold on to specifically romantic feelings. It's right there in the dialogue. Like that's the dialogue of the show.
And if you're paying attention, Andra actually says, I would have loved to see Man at Arms in his prime. When I was when I would love to get together with her. And then it's even Lynn at the time said, don't set your heart to powerful men, because they will disappoint you. They will disappoint you every time.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't get involved with dangerous men.
Now I've heard so many people take that line and skew it to whatever uses they decide to use, right? Like, and I look at that, I'm like, no, that was to showcase that there are, particularly with Eva Lynn, she's been used multiple times by a powerful man, right? by somebody who literally has really never cared about her to begin with, but abused her feelings and that and such. But at the end of the day, it was pretty clear cut that we're talking about people who are attracted to each other, right? So again, a lot of speculations were completely off base, and I was like, all right, that's really, really strange. Now,
and just real briefly, that's talking about this idea of these YouTube channels that were floating these speculative rumors and stuff like this. This is all stuff that they didn't have information on. And it was stuff that they used to generate views for their channels, because in my opinion, rage sells. People like to get worked up about these things. But if you look at the claims that were made, Teela and Andra are lesbians. Andra is going to become the new He-Man. Teela is going to become the new He-Man. All of these things, none of those claims were accurate in the end. None of those claims came true. He-Man didn't stay dead. He came back 3 episodes later. He got stabbed with that cliffhanger ending, but he wasn't dead. He was still breathing. So he died once. He came back. It's the death of Superman story, man.
Yeah.
Like if you're a geek, if you're a nerd, if you follow comics, if you follow fantasy, if you follow science fiction, heroes die and then they come back. What's the number one rule of comic books? Nobody stays dead forever. Batman's died. Superman's died. He-Man has died multiple times in the comics. Revelation isn't the first time He-Man's died. He comes back. I mean, that's what it is. And at the end of that series, they're standing on a balcony. Teela reaches over, or Adam reaches over and takes her hand, and there's fireworks going off in the background. There's romantic music playing. It's very, very clear what the intention is with these two characters.
Yeah. And you know what? Just getting off that, sorry, not getting off it, but even in that so much, I was just using that as a small piece.
Sure.
But you know what? The whole idea when people were trying to knock this series down a peg, for whatever reason, I don't know. And you know what? Maybe there was a flame war going on. Maybe mud was being sling on social media. I mean, if you're going to attack somebody, right, and tell them that you're the worst thing that's ever happened to Master Universe, that's ever come, that you've destroyed my childhood, whatever. What do you expect somebody to tell you? I mean, you know what I mean? They're going to respond in kind. They're going to respond in kind, right? And to a guy who's used to stand-up comedy and hecklers and just roasting people who ask stupid questions in front of Comic-Con, of 30,000 people at Comic-Con, what a guy like Kevin Smith is just going to say something like really outlandish just to get a rise out of you, right? That's pretty much what happened. And then everyone just kept on the attack. But you know what? Again, he's doing it. He's a hype man. That's what his job is, to get people to watch this show. And that's exactly
generated buzz.
And that's exactly what he was doing. He was utilizing his star power and the controversy that was surrounding this. He recognized that, you know what? if they keep the focus on me, then the show is going to get good ratings at the beginning, and then hopefully people will be able to see what a great show this is.
Sure,
Now,
sure.
it's been polarizing, it's been divisive, and it's unfortunate. It really is, because a lot of people took what was at face value controversy, and some people just did not decide that it was worth their time, and it really
Right.
is unfortunate. Luckily, out of that, we got some great toys. Okay,
Yeah.
and most people, not everyone, most people seem to agree that the toys themselves were the best part that came that have come out of the whole marriage
Sure, sure.
of this, right? The small heads at the beginning, slightly smaller heads for whatever reason, kind of turned people off. But as the Masterverse continued to evolve, I think that we've come to a point now where some of the figures are some of the best figures we have ever seen, and the animations by Justin Rash are incredible and really show
Oh yeah, they're fantastic.
some of the amazing articulation that can be done with these action figures. And now with these animations that he's doing for Origins, I'm just blown away and really excited about what the future of Master Universe in the aisleways, as well as on Netflix and television, is possible for the future as well. On a last note, covering because we're I love the series, but and very excited about the 5 episodes that are coming up. The fact that it is going to be just as a recap, there's going to be 5 episodes for Master Universe Revolution. It will be very He-Man and Skeletor centric, with some Horde in here and there. William Shatner is not Hordak.
No.
Apparently, that was confirmed. William Shatner is not Hordak. So that remains to be seen. Who is Hordak? So I'm very interested to find out who the heck is William Shatner playing. Who's he
going to play?
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting idea. There will be more exploration in the He-Man or Prince Adam and Teela and Sorceress, relationship. And then, of course, everything else around will come around, and we'll find out exactly where we are. What really got me, though, was when Ted actually mentioned that if this series is well received, the possibility of a third season might be possible.
Yeah. So as he said in the interview and in my conversations with him, they have a plan for what they want to do after Revolution. And so if Revolution does well enough to warrant more episodes or a follow-up series or whatever that looks like, they do have a story plotted out for where they want to take it. And so, these things aren't being considered lightly. There's a lot of consideration that goes into this. They have a plan, and it's not just, people say, Kevin Smith ruined He-Man, or they attack Ted Biaselli, for his involvement with it, and they need to remember or realize, that this is Mattel's franchise, and they're in charge of it, and they're the ones who are greenlighting this stuff and approving these decisions that are made, and it's very much a back and forth. And Rob David, who is head of creative at Mattel, was involved in the entire storyline. Rob David is the person who wrote the Eternity War comic run. He was a part of, he did a lot of work with the CGI series of He-Man that's also on Netflix. I think it's unfair to fully attack, Kevin and go in this with saying that they didn't know what He-Man was or how to approach He-Man and things like that. It's not that simple. These are huge projects. There's so much money that goes into this. There's so many decisions that have to be made. There's so many things that have to be greenlit, because at the end of the day, it all has to feed back into the machine that is Mattel, who, like you said earlier, are in the business of selling toys. And to boost up those toy lines is the whole reason that the cartoons exist. It's the whole reason the Filmation cartoon existed in the first place.
Yeah.
But like we said, there's a lot that goes into this stuff, and I think I think you don't have to like it. That's the bottom line. Everybody has the right to like what they like and hate what they hate. I get it. There's stuff that
Yeah.
I don't like
Yeah.
out there. There's plenty of stuff I don't like out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know,
And
however, I think it's important, you know, that we at least be fair in our criticisms. You know, we can criticize. We don't have to get nasty about it. You know, at the end of the day, we're all fans. Nobody needs to prove that they're a fan over somebody else.
Yep.
You know, we're all in this together, man.
And the thing is that there are people who do like the series, right? There are people like myself. I really enjoyed it, right?
I loved it.
And as you said, you shouldn't be attacking the creators of this, right?
Sure.
They've made a decision. They've written a story. They produced something which is wonderful. And it's not, if it's not for you, if your He-Man is, you know, a moral person who at the end of every episode, you know, tells you, reminds you of what it is to be a good person, then that's fine. You know what I mean? If Orko is this goofy character who once in a while is able to contribute by accidentally saving the day, right? That's fine. If your Cringer is a you know, a cowardly cat by day, and once he's called on to become heroic, he is, then that's great. But maybe you're a New Adventures He-Man, and you know, Adam went into space, abandoned everything he knew to go help another planet entirely, and then got his friends to come later to help him out once in a while, right? And you know what like, you know, Skeletor came over and did, you know, his own thing. And you know, maybe that, you know, they fly around in an Eternian space, a planet, a spaceship called Eternia, Starship Eternia, and you know, maybe that's your thing. That's fine. Or maybe, you know, Cam Clark is the greatest voice actor for He-Man. You know, these are things that a lot of people are going to say, right? But you know what? Each one that people grow up with or have experienced, that is exactly correct. You can like something, you can hate something. Like, I didn't particularly like New Adventures, but watching it now, you know, 20 years later, I'm like, holy crap, that animation was pretty good. Maybe I should actually check this out again, right? I did. And what turned me off with a New Adventures was Skeletor's face. I remember seeing that face for the first time. Like,
it was goofy.
Goofy as hell. What the heck is this? And it just turned me off completely. But then, you know what? As the series progressed, they changed the designs a little bit. Things got a little bit darker. You know what I mean? Again, things you know, change, and that's exactly what I believe happened with Revelations and what will probably happen with Revolutions. You know, and I'm looking forward to the next journey. I really am, and you know, getting some answers from Ted Biaselli was amazing. And thank you again, you know, Colt, for doing that interview, because it gives us a little bit more information as the series is getting finished. I mean, animation takes a freaking long time.
It takes forever. You know, and that's another thing. Like, you know, the process of animation takes so long, and Ted talks about all this in the interview, you know, as you know, but you know, he goes through the entire process of what it takes to animate. You know, and there's that you know, there's rumors floating around that after that part 1 dropped of Revelation, and then the blowback and the controversy was so bad that they changed it, you know. And then part two was a reaction to that. Well, I mean, it part 2 released 4 months after part 1. 4 months isn't enough time to create it, and you know, to change plans completely. You know, they got to bring in the voice actors and re-record the lines. They have to reanimate. They have to re-script everything. They've got to re-storyboard everything, remix all the music, orchestrate new music, whatever it takes. These are huge processes that have to occur, and 4 months isn't enough time to do that. And so that theory that part 2 was a reaction to the disappointment that part 1 had is false. This was the story from the beginning, and Ted says it as well. You know, he said if he could go back and release all 10 episodes at once, he would. You know, but there's other considerations to take into factor. So
absolutely. And you know what, this is we're everyone, we can all agree to disagree. I think that sentence, that phrase is exactly the way it should be, because you know what, we're all different. We all have different opinions, and you know what, that's good. That's a good thing. We should all have opinions, and you know what, everyone should be free to speak their mind, and that's very, very important. Vivi is the chosen one says, "What do you think of the new Rise of the Beast trailer?" I haven't seen it. Have you seen the latest Rise of the Beast trailer?
I haven't seen the latest one. I saw the first one that came out a few months ago.
Yeah.
Transformers has kind of been a very, kind of lower down on my totem pole of franchises that I like.
A lot
I
of people
don't even know if I've watched all the movies.
a lot of people are gonna criticize me for this, but I am not a I'm not a Bayverse Transformer guy. I've watched them all. I've given every single one of them a chance because I love Transformers. I really do.
Yeah.
I've given every single one of them a chance, and I can't stand them. The very first movie I thought was good. I thought it was okay. I thought it was a decent movie on its own. After that, for me, it just kept going downhill. Bumblebee gave me the biggest G1 feels of the entire series, and I was hoping that they would continue that because of the type of thing that does.
Sure.
Although Rise of the Beast seems to be going in the right direction, there are things which kind of weird me out. So I'm reserving judgment on that because I would have really liked to see more G1 characters as they were, depicted in the Bumblebee movie.
Right.
And I will check out that Rise of the Beast trailer. Ashman55, hello, Jay and chat. It does not matter if they say it would be at retail, since here in Tucson, we do not get it. We don't get any figures at all. We're going to get to that discussion, my friend, because I know what you're saying. A lot of markets did not get any Motu at all. Like, I don't know what it is. The purchasing managers don't understand what these are. I mean, that happens a lot too. Sometimes it's just the failing of the purchasing managers themselves, because some retail locations just have very, very small footprints for their toy lines. So it's unfortunate. So best of luck to you, my friend. Jay Coombs, I have to say, Master Universe fans are lucky. I'm a GeoJoe fan, but you guys have the finest playsets. You know what? This is true. This is true. I mean, like, GeoJoe has not had a classified. A playset for classified would be massive. A Terradrome would be ridiculous. I mean, that thing would be just ridiculously huge. And the GeoJoe base, if they were actually to make it even 1/4 of the size it's supposed to be, it would be ridiculously massive, right? And everybody's talking about bringing back the flag. It's got to stay. If they are going to bring back the flag, which is just dumb, I think that's just ridiculous. It's going to have to stay retro style, because there's no way they could, or O-ring style, because there's no way they could bring that back as a classified version. Healing Dread, the artwork on Snake Mountain's box is incredible. Yes, it is awesome.
Fantastic.
And this is just fuzzy pictures. Imagine when we actually get to see high resolution pictures. I think that's going to be crazy. Brick something. Revelations is fantastic. Thanks for the heads up on the Ted Biaselli interview on Dad at Arms. I loved it. Definitely head over to Dad at Arms if you haven't already subscribed to him, guys. This is awesome. And again, Colt, thank you so much for that. Brick something. Thank you. Boocat. I think the biggest issue was the way Kevin Smith handled things on his social media after stuff got leaked and people started reporting it. Okay, so on that level, he did say some crazy things. He did, and some of them came back to bite him in the butt. I mean, this happens. But as I said, it might have just been one of his. And I think I can say this. I think I'm safe in saying this. It might have been his, weed induced, kind of personality. But that's who he is. Somebody said something, or it was leaked, or whatever it was, and he just went off and said his own thing. But you know what? It ended up being that he kind of led everybody the wrong way, right? And I think he did it on purpose. To be perfectly honest with you, I think he's a hype man, and I think that's what were your thoughts, Colt? Like, do you think he intentionally did what he did, or was it just something?
So I'm of the opinion, and I think I'm probably in the minority here, is I don't think that Kevin Smith led people astray as much as I think that's blown out of proportion. I have the screenshots of the tweet that he sent out, and it was in response to the tweet from one of the YouTube channels who were making these claims. Teela has a girlfriend, He-Man is sidelined, and Lenandra are going to be better heroes than Prince Adam.
Which was not correct.
He responded to that and he said, no, that's not what our show is about. He-Man doesn't step aside. Teela doesn't have a girlfriend in our show, and Adam is still important to the show. I mean, I don't think any of that is wrong. You can argue that He-Man was sidelined by the fact that he was killed. But the decisions going into that, like I said earlier, it's a death of Superman story. You know, you take the demigod character out of the picture for a few episodes to show the effects that his absence has on the world, and and the effects on the characters that are close to him. You know, you see how that affects them. But then, I mean, Prince Adam comes back 3 episodes later, you know, and he's in it for the entirety of part 2. And I mean, he becomes Savage He-Man. He gets his sword back and becomes He-Man again. He's very much present in it. There's flashbacks that go back to He-Man, and I know that's not the same as having He-Man in it for present day, but he is still very much in the equation. And not only that, in a lot of what Revelation was about was getting Teela to realize her destiny and become the sorceress. You can't tell that storyline if you're not going to focus on the character a little bit. And so you need to focus a little bit on Teela to further progress that storyline. I mean, that's just how storytelling works. You know, it's a big story to tell. She's got to be on screen for a little while. And
exactly.
yeah, but like we said, at the end of the day, Teela and Hordak aren't girlfriends. They don't become the new He-Man. Neither of them wield the power sword. You know.
Yeah, and I said at the beginning of the series, and I continue to say this. I said it's called Masters of the Universe, right?
Sure.
That's what I said ever since it started. And I was imploring people to just give it a chance. And I said, look, I've always wanted to see Teela's destiny. I've always wanted to see where she goes, because we knew she was going to become a sorceress at some point, right? We knew that she was being groomed to become the next sorceress, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this was her tale. Now, did we see He-Man? Yeah, we saw him in flashbacks. We saw him, his heroic nature at the very beginning of the show, right?
I don't think there's anything more heroic than him stepping up to the plate and absorbing the power orb and sacrificing his life to save the universe.
He was selfless. He was
That's
selfless,
what
and
you're
really,
man.
he was a true hero, and became a legend, right?
Yeah.
And that just basically, it's part of the story, right?
Mhm.
And he does come back, and of course, as expected, I knew it was going to happen. Kevin Smith went ahead and said, "Yeah, I killed He-Man twice." Why? Because he's a shit disturber. He did that on purpose. He's baiting everybody. That's actually his whole point, because he knew it was going to get a rile out of people. He knew people were going to be angry with him. If he was going to play the villain, that's exactly what he did. But you know what? Out of it came a great story, in my opinion, right? And I'm looking forward to the next journey.
And again, I want to stress that, you know, people can disagree. I don't care. You know, I don't mind if people disagree with me. I'm not trying to start fights with people in saying the things I do. These are my opinions, my thoughts on it. I've had conversations with people who who disagree about Revelation, but I'm still friends with them. You know, we still get along. I mean, it's not a line in the sand. We're all allowed to enjoy what we want to enjoy and dislike what we want to dislike and hate what we want to hate. You know, but as long as we can be polite about it and be kind about it in the discussion and the conversation that surrounds that, I mean, that's what comic book nerds have been doing for as long as I can remember. I'm always arguing about comics with other fans. I argue about Batman constantly with my friends who are into Batman. So anyway, that's all. I think that's all I'll say on
that. It is, no matter what, as always, it's a polarizing series, and that's fine. You know,
that's
that's fine. In a lot of ways, that's exactly what Kevin Smith wanted, right?
Sure.
That's in a way he did that. But I do agree with Ted. It was the journey that needed to be taken, right? It was something which again, he wanted the team wanted it to be a struggle and a learning process, and if anything, there was character development for Teela. And yes, I understand a lot of people are saying that Teela took over the series. Yeah, but it's called Masters of the Universe, guys. That's exactly what it is. Like, there are multiple people in this story who are powerful, not just He-Man. Like there is a lot of powerful people in the story. So
and she's also not a side character. You know, she's an important character in the mythos. She's one of the most important characters in the mythos.
Yeah. If she doesn't become the sorceress, who's going to protect that power? Right. And it is interesting, how they finally played it out. But man, I'm looking forward very much to seeing the rest of the story, and I am Very excited at where this is going to lead. Finland attorney, Oregon IRL. Yo, Target here in Eugene, Oregon is loaded to the hills with Flash movie Batmans in his vehicles. Man, I'm so jealous of you guys. We up here in Canada, we have nothing. We have nothing. So, send some of that stuff up here, man. Send some of that. Have you picked up a Batmobile, Cole?
I have not. My brother is the Batman is to him what Motu is to me.
Wow.
So he's very much into Batman. He just picked up. He was showing me pictures of it yesterday. The Batwing. He got the Batwing.
That's huge.
And it's massive.
It
is massive.
That is massive.
So they're good looking figures, but no, I haven't picked up the Batmobile.
Absolutely. Brick something. It was a really great interview, Colt. This Ted interview and the Maria to Luna one made my day.
Maria is a wonderful, wonderful person. She is a fan from Mexico, and she has her own pedigree to back her up. She's spoken and interviewed the voice actor who played He-Man and Prince Adam in the Filmation series, for the Mexico, the Spanish-speaking voice actor. She writes wonderful stories. She makes wonderful dolls based on Masters of the Universe. I will always sing her praises. She's wonderful.
Yeah. Runner's Prime 1982. Kevin Smith owns Clownfish TV and Apologist. What's Clownfish TV? You know what? Here's something. Okay, here's something. Kevin Smith owes a lot of people an apology. Okay, like forget about the Motu fans. I mean, like he's a comedian. He says stuff about people which most people probably would blush at saying. You know what I mean? Like that's just the way it is. What you're specifically referring to, I have no idea. But a lot of people are going to judge Kevin Smith on his choices for the series, and you know what? That's fine. As Colt and I have said, it's okay not to like it. It's fine. You know what I mean? You don't like what Kevin Smith did. You don't like what Kevin Smith did as the showrunner. That's fine. That's fine. Does he owe an apology to Clownfish TV? Probably. He probably owes an apology to me. He probably owes an apology to you, right? But he's going to stand by his convictions, and you know what? That's his choice, right? So you can tweet at him. Yeah, he's probably going to roast you, but that's the kind of guy that Kevin Smith is. I mean, like, did I enjoy all of his movies? I loved Dogma. I love Dogma a lot. I really love Dogma. Jay and Silent Bob. I mean, it was funny. Clerks was much better. Clerks 1, and Clerks 2, I thought were great. I haven't.
Have you watched Clerks 3?
No, I haven't.
I watched it back at Christmas time with my wife, and it's one of those things. I go into a Kevin Smith movie expecting to, have a few laughs and expect some dirty jokes and things like that. Yeah. I'm always surprised that I walk away having feelings.
Sure.
He makes some touch. He makes some good movies.
He's got an emotional touch to his movies, but that's basic. That's your basic Kevin Smith movie. Brushstrokes. Howdy, friends. How does anybody know why today was Motu Day? To me personally, I think it's an arbitrary day. I really don't have no. You know what, Colt?
So what it is? Back in 1987, the mayor of Los Angeles decreed that April 28th was Masters of the Universe Day for Los Angeles.
Excellent.
And so that's what that stems from. So from that, it's extrapolated out to now we celebrate Motu Day on, with hashtags and things like that. It's all in good fun. I was making the joke today that I wish my job would respect my holiday and let me take work off for Motu Day. That's what it stems from. It stems from 1987. The mayor of, I can't remember the mayor's name, but yeah, the mayor of Los Angeles decreed that for the city of Los Angeles, it was Motu Day.
And now all over the world it's Motu Day. It's a religious. You're observing your religious obligations. Slam Bus Rodan. If moss always grows on the north side of a tree, does Moss Man always get stalked on the north wall of Walmart? If you can find him, I mean, we can't find any of him. I mean, he's not even there. They're spraying down. Too much disinfectant everywhere, man. They basically killed all the.
I think he's in the mulch section
in the place. Yeah. He's hiding there until his release. Old IC guy. Hey Jay, and Chad, how are you? We're good. Not much better that you're here, brother. Question: who owns the Star Trek license? Oh God. And will we see Picard season 3 figs? So right now, Playmates has the license for Star Trek figures, if that's what you're asking. They've just released a series of Star Trek, what's it called? Kirk, Khan, and Spock figures from the Wrath of Khan movie. So that's 3 figures there. They've also released, I believe, 4 figures, if I'm not mistaken. It could be only 3. They've released Data from TNG. They've released Picard from TNG and Commander Riker from TNG. I think that's it. They also have received Michael Burnham. Released Michael Burnham from Discovery, as well as Naru. I think that's his name, the alien dude with the head. So I believe that's right now the wave 1. And they just released a new Enterprise with lights and sound, as well as a phaser and some other doodads. I know that because I did a toy hunt the other day. So will they do Picard season 3 figs? Funnily enough, I love Picard season 3. I don't know, Colt, are you a Star Trek fan by any chance?
I'm Star Wars fan, man.
Yeah, it's all right. You know, we're not gonna shoot laser blasters.
I mean, nerd law dictates that we are in a fight now. So.
Hey, you know what? Again, I think it was Kevin Smith, if I'm not mistaken, who said, you know, I love being a nerd and a comic book geek, because, you know, being a comic book geek and being a geek in general is the only time you can actually go to a convention and look at Star Trek fans on one end of the room and Star Wars fans in the other room, and both of them are calling each other geeks. It's the best time in the world. You know, another tip of the hat to Kevin Smith and his wonderful knowledge. Healing Dread. The best thing was that people saying He-Man went woke. Again, I don't even know what that term means. I think it has something to do with, you know, like ideologies or something like that. I don't know where that comes from. And for me, this channel, as a lot of people know, I try to avoid as much drama as possible. But realistically, if it had something to do with lesbianism, even if it was, I wouldn't care. You know, if 2 people love each other, 2 people love each other. What the hell's the problem? Like, I just don't understand why this has become a problem. Sure. Like, seriously, what the hell is going on? Like, why are people so hung up about this idea? But that ended up not being the case anyway. Like, whoever this was that actually started this rumor was completely off base. They had no idea what the hell they were talking about.
I mean,
then you know what? They said something like, again, Teela is going to become He-Man. That didn't happen. As a matter of fact, Evelyn became the hero, right? For a time. Yeah. Skeletor became the hero for a time. Right, everybody except Teela. Everybody, as Colt said in the beginning, everybody except Teela became a hero. Right, like it's great. We even saw multiple heroes from the past of Eternia. We saw Hero. We saw Wondar. We saw Savage. I like to call it
Vicor.
Yeah, we saw Vicor. We saw a Savage Sorceress, which wasn't Sorceress. Apparently, she's
Kudak Uncle.
Exactly, and of course we saw, for shocking, how dare they apparently. We saw the first, King Grayskull, and wow, so what? Who cares? Like, honestly, it was a different take, and I personally didn't mind it. I mean, yes, we've seen King Grayskull in the 2000 X series, canonized as a different version, right? He was white, right? This one is black, right? Does that really bother people that much? Like, I don't get it. I really don't.
I like both versions of King
Me too.
Grayskull. I even like the glow in the dark King Grayskull.
Yeah, and you know what? If people hated him so much, why did everybody back Eternia to get him? You know what I mean? Like, seriously. And you know what? He's one of the best Revolutions figures I've ever seen. Honestly, he has his pack out is incredible. Incredible. Sideswipe. Rodimus, Kevin Smith definitely owes, there it is again, Clownfish an apology. And Smith owes 95% of the fans who hated what he did, his lies, his denials, denying the F-bomb. I vote we do a witch trial on Monty Python rules. First of all, my friend, just by saying that, I think you should, definitely think about what you're saying. That's ridiculous. Okay.
That's a big percentage.
Yeah. B. Well, I'm also talking about a witch trial. First of all, you do know that witches were innocent people who were put to the stake, burned unjustly, and drowned. Right? If they floated, they were witches. and if they sunk to the bottom, they died. Yeah,
And
really,
the
really, really fair trial there. Slash,
Monty Python rules.
right?
I mean, we saw the witch trial in Monty Python.
Yeah, you know,
It
again,
was it was ridiculous. It was played for laughs because it was so silly and stupid.
yeah,
That was the joke.
and the thing is that again, I didn't follow the controversy, you know, closely enough to know what his lies are, to know whatever denials there were. And f bombing, come on, dude, he does that on a regular basis. He swears all the time. But if you're talking about the f bomb in Master Universe, it's an adult series now, right? It's not.
Where was the f bomb in Master
Well, I don't know.
Universe?
Like like I don't understand where again. I didn't follow the controversy far enough. I know that I didn't Skeletor say something like I don't know what fuck, but I mean, like, didn't he say a swear word in the series? I'm pretty sure somebody swore in the series.
Teela said damn once.
Okay. Yeah.
Evelyn said bollocks.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not that big a deal. We're all adults.
Again, and you know what? I am going to agree with you. Kevin Smith owes an apology to everybody. I mean, you know, he makes some terrible movies. I mean, you know, like, come on, like, seriously, this is something. Again, he's probably offended more people than we can count. Seriously. So yeah, does Kevin Smith owe everybody an apology? Probably, right? But to say that 95% of fans hated what he did, that's impossible. We're getting a third season. Like, come on, dude. Like, let's call a spade a spade. Like, seriously. I like Kevin Smith's work. Do I love everything he did? Absolutely not. Did I love everything that happened in the series? No. You know, do I think that parents should be eating their children, you know, a la Evelyn? Probably not. You know what I mean? But again, it was just to highlight the dire situation that everyone was in, and people did terrible things, right? So, you know what? That was part of the story, right? And a lot of people will cite the idea that Evelyn's father is the faceless one, right? Or in the new canon on He-Man and the Master Universe, it's Hordak, right? This just shows you that every single version of
things evolve, things change,
and every single universe.
The faceless one was something that 2000X invented for the series. That didn't exist in Filmation or the comics or anything like that before. It existed for 2000X. For Revelation, it seems like they're going in another direction. And CGI, like you said, Hordak is her father.
Absolutely. And in 2000X, he you know, King Grayskull is white. In Revelations, King Grayskull is black. This is
in 2000X, Keldor became Skeletor.
Yeah.
I mean, in Filmation, there was no Keldor.
Exactly.
Keldor didn't become Skeletor.
In the comics, Skeletor is from a completely different dimension.
Yeah, he's a demon.
Yeah, he's a completely different dimension, and he has nothing to do with Eternia except to take.
And not only that, in 2000X, Keldor, it's never openly stated that he is the brother of King Randor. That was something that came later in the comic series, in the 2012 comics through the Eternity War comics, that it was established that Keldor was the brother of King Randor. Yeah. So even that was a new idea based on a new idea for 2000X.
Yeah.
But your point is, you know, like you're saying, it's an evolving canon, it's an evolving lore, and people add to it and take away from it all the time.
And if you really want to, and if you really want to bring everything together, which it sure seems like they're about to try to do, Anti-Eternia He-Man will bring all the multiverses together for a final battle to accumulate in the series, and that will cross every single one: the movies, the movie canon, the comics canon, the Filmation canon. If you've read the books from DC, you will know that that's actually something that might happen, and that
it has happened. You know, if you've read the Tim Seeley, his Masters of the Multiverse book that came out a few years ago.
Absolutely. Rufus Rogers, sorry, I just blanked out your comment by accident. Good to see you, brother. Brushstrokes, I don't have the Netflix, so I've never seen Revelation, but I think in general it's okay for creators to try new interpretations and directions, even with established characters. I believe so too. I do believe that 100%. Sensei Jeff, I think my opinion is somewhere in between, and that's fair. That is absolutely fair. Revolution was tone deaf in the franchise. I honestly don't think Kevin was a Motu fan, but I agree we got some great figures. You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that Kevin Smith probably was a fan when he was a kid. Does he remember it the way we all remember? Probably not. I mean, like, you know, he talked about how, and people make mistakes all the time, but people tend to really magnify that. He said that Master Universe came out in 1983. When it actually came out I believe he said 1984 or something like that, and it actually came out in 1982. I think the toy line is what he was talking about. But I think he was actually, I think he was actually talking about the Filmation cartoon.
Sure.
Again, these are things which, when you're being interviewed on the spot,
none of us remember perfectly. And not only that, and to further that, like, it doesn't matter. I mean, people are allowed to come into fandoms at any age. I'm fans of things now that I wasn't a fan of growing up. I don't find anything inherently wrong with that.
Sensei Jeff, thank you for the $10 super chat, my friend. As a He-Man fan since I was 4 years old, I definitely have a way different opinion than both of you. But I love the discussion and being challenged. I want to support you all. Thank you, Sensei Jeff. You know what?
And you're being polite about it.
Yes,
that's what's important.
But you are a great example of what we're talking about. That we can all learn something from each other. You know what I mean? We don't have to like everything. We don't have to like everything that everybody else likes. It's okay not to like the series. It's all right. It's not bad. Sideswipe. Why grow out of what we love as adults when adulthood is when we need the bliss and need the bliss and fun most? That's silly. I'm not saying we're growing out of anything. As a matter of fact, do I look? Do Colt and I actually look like we've grown out of anything? Like, seriously, come on, like seriously.
I'm in the trenches with this.
Yeah,
stuff.
Exactly. I mean, he's fortunate enough to actually have a partner who tolerates this kind of thing, right? I'm single, and that's the reason why I can actually do this by myself. Like says, there's your answer right there, right? I found your problem. No, my problem anyway. But Sideswipe, I value your opinion. I do. Okay, but to say the kinds of things that you did sort of imply, 95% of the community did not hate Revelations. It's obvious of that because we're getting a third season. And I agree with you. Does Kevin Smith owe people an apology? Hell yeah, of course. He said some crazy things in the past, but are you going to get one? Probably not. And you know what? Should there be a witch hunt and a la comedy that you mentioned? That's just silly. Let's be perfectly honest. That's just silly. The court of public opinion has already been split. This is a very polarizing topic, and I'm just glad we're getting another season. That's where my overall notion is at this stage. Rufus Roger, the Star Trek figures are so bad. My nephew opened his Kirk and another one, and both had limbs that broke within 5 minutes.
That sounds, man.
Sounds like a whole bunch of Hasbro figures that have happened lately. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of toy tubers have opened up their Dungeons and Dragons cartoon figures, and the exact same thing seems to be happening. I don't know. Maybe it's the plastic that they were using in the factories. Maybe they came out of the same factory. I mean, that's the thing. That does suck. I would really hate to have to return those multiple times, Rufus. That's terrible. Heroic Nerd. Netflix He-Man was horrible and disappointing. No relation to the original the spirit of the characters, cast, and show. I'm going to argue with you there. I think that the spirit actually was there. The story went in a direction that not a lot of people, not everybody agreed with, but a lot of us enjoyed it. That much is obviously clear. Otherwise, we would not be getting a third season. So, Heroic Nerd, horrible and disappointing for you for sure. And I agree. And you know what? Again, that's your opinion, and we're okay to disagree. It's fine. Sideswipe again. Teela was portrayed as far too selfish in front of her parents and her loved ones. She'd no right, bad writing. So I will go ahead and say that did shock me. How she reacted in that moment was to me a little bit maybe too much. However, and here's something you just got to understand about a 5-episode series. You got to move the story along. You got to move that story along as fast as you can because you've only got 5 episodes to work with. Do I appreciate how that was played out? No, I kind of actually felt, and you know what? Ted actually mentioned it. Did people appreciate what we did with Teela? He said in a lot of ways, no. But you know what? We had a story to tell. Ted had a story to tell. And you know what? That's where we are now. This is what it is. And again, it's okay not to like it. It's fine. Naturally, Marvel, love that CrossFit Evelyn. I love her. I love her. I ordered 3 of her figures. One to open, one to keep in box, and the other one just in case. That's That's what. There she is.
She is, man.
She is. She's awesome.
A good figure.
She's awesome. Kim Gonzalez.
I ordered 2. I've got one on my shelf, one in the box here.
That's what happens. Yeah, the collector's
motto.
The collector's motto. Kim Gonzalez. Gonzalez.
Whoa.
Oh, no, Lynn.
She's out of the box now.
She's awesome. She is awesome. Kim Gonzalez. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Kim. Thank you for being here tonight. Let's see here. All right, Heroic Node. For my enjoyment of Motu, I rewatched the original Funimation cartoon. Filmation. I know. It probably was autocorrect, I'm hoping.
Yeah,
I rewatched the Funimation cartoons and read the comics. Done. Then you know what, my friend? You're doing it right. You were enjoying yourself the way you're supposed to be enjoyed. Sideswipe. I believe they split it into 2 5-part halves to try and salvage it, rewrite, edit, because the initial response was so hated. That seems to be a popular theory, but according to Colt and apparently and to Ted, they had this story in mind from the very beginning. So,
well, and like I said, you've got to take into consideration how long these things take to produce and animate and voice act. And if that is the case, that part 2 was a reaction to the fan disappointment, 4 months isn't a lot of time to do all that, man. To rewrite an entire show. And I'm sorry, that's a false theory.
Yeah, it's very difficult, and the animation would have already been started by then. Derek Dalzell, burn the witch, and then followed up with, I love that Monty Python scene.
It's great. It's great.
Too funny. Brushstrokes, King Grayskull looks awesome. Yes, he did. He looked absolutely incredible. Action figure Auditorium must have sucked being a witch back in the day. Girl, sorry, my friend. It must have sucked to be a woman back in the day. I mean, like, seriously, that must have really, really sucked. Like, seriously. And you know what's really terrible about that? And I can't prove this, and I have no thing. But if you were jealous of your best friend and you wanted them out of the picture, all you had to do was say that's a witch.
If you wanted their land, just accuse them of witchcraft.
Think about that. That's how terrible it really got. Sideswipe, wrong, sir. Respectfully. Revelations dropped off Netflix. All top 10 lists in 4 days of release. 4 days. That's a bomb. As I said, the first episode had high ratings. I didn't say that the whole series had high ratings, and so in that sense, again, whether I'm wrong or not, it did actually have an impact, and the fact that we're getting a second series means a lot. So, again, I'm not arguing with you on that. I really have no idea. Albert Boquior. I'm sorry, my friend. I'm terrible. Boquiron. I think I got it. Boquiron. Albert Boquiron. I apologize if I'm making screwing up your name, because I probably am. The only thing awesome on the show is the Horde and Motherboard. And you know what, Motherboard? We need to get a Motherboard action figure. Colt.
Motherboard was great.
God. Wouldn't that be great? Like, seriously. I mean, Lynn's already got the long legs, so I think we're halfway there. So I would love a Motherboard figure. Oh my God, just crazy. Sensei Jeff, right? Monty Python, am I wrong? Dude, you are right on the ball, my friend. Eddie Rodriguez, hello from Spain. Hello, Eddie. Good to see you, my friend. Hola. ¿Cómo estás? Action figure Auditorium. Skeletor swore when he broke his bone. Know what I mean? You know what? Again, Kevin Smith, tongue in cheek, right? A little bit of sexy time here and there. I mean, this is typical Kevin Smith. I mean, it happened, right? It did happen. And you know what? We're adults. We're all adults here. Jose Mendoza, returning to retail. Target couldn't even move main characters, let alone write their characters. You know what? That's a good segue. There are a lot. Sensei Jeff, again, thank you for the $10 super chat, my friend. Always room to play with Riff and new canon. I think the problem was Kevin branded Revelation as a direct continuation from the Filmation cartoon. What do you both think? You know what? You know what? That you might have something there.
Here's my thoughts on it.
Sure.
If I can step in and interrupt you. When the series was announced, they said it was a sequel series to the classic era of He-Man. They never specifically said that it was a direct sequel to Filmation. With that being said, they couldn't use the music. They, for the Filmation series, and so it was never going to be a direct continuation of Filmation. But what they did do is they continued storylines that were established in Filmation. Adam and Teela's relationship, Teela's destiny moving forward, and becoming the sorceress. That was all stuff that was established in the Filmation series with through numerous episodes. These things were established, and what Revelation did was took these storylines and continued them. And I mean, it wasn't a direct sequel series to Filmation, yes, but it was a continuation of established Masters of the Universe lore. The same stories were continued in the comics. It was a continuation of these stories that have existed since the beginning of the franchise. So that's how I would answer that.
Absolutely. For me, Sensei Jeff, I'm gonna say there's probably some an argument to be made there. I think myself personally, I do believe, and I'm not going to say with 100% certainty, but of course, as I've maintained, Kevin Smith is a hype man. Okay, and what better way to try and get people, older fans, to try and watch the series than by saying that this is directly after Master Universe, which of course the film He-Man and the Master Universe Filmation series, which of course ended off in the worst way. I mean, it literally was just one last episode and cut it off. There was no goodbye. There was no nothing, right? But that's the way television goes. But does that mean anything really at the end of the day? Not really. You know what I mean? And I agree with Colt. They took the parts that they needed from the series to tell another story, right? And what is that a perfect situation? No. And is anybody satisfied? Absolutely not. We're having this problem. We're having our discussion now just because of the polarizing nature of people. Again, your memories as a kid versus your memories now, everything changes. Everything. We all eventually will make up our own mind one way or another. Natural Nate Marler, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate that. The real controversy. We got Modi instead of Keklar. Yes.
People love Modi, man.
You know what? I'd rather have Modi. I think Modi's a rock star. Modi's amazing. Thank you, Natural Nate Marler. Daryl Homel. Can't we all just get along, y'all? Dude, we're getting along. We're getting along. Yes. We're agreeing to disagree, and we're having discussions. Sideswipe, I truly appreciate you guys for being able to discuss without fighting. Cheers, dude. You are awesome. Okay, seriously, what you're saying, everything you said was valid. Okay, that's the one thing that we can all agree with.
Sure.
Everything you said was valid, and it's okay not to like the things that I like. It's okay. You know what I mean? So we're all people in this wonderful community, and this is the reason why we're here. So it's been absolutely great having everybody here and talking Master Universe, Warriors Toys. I support the brand 100%. 40-year-old Motu fan here for life. I like it or hate it. Thank you so much, Warrior Toys. You're amazing. Sensei Jeff, I'm really looking forward to Revolution. So am I. Albert, again, yes, we are getting another season, but if it doesn't hit, don't blame the fans or the showrunners. Thank you, Albert. Thank you. That's exactly. Let's all be respectful at the very least. Derek Kuto. What up, Mike J? What up, everyone in chat? Good to see you, Derek. How you doing, my friend? Robert, what's going on? Master of the Mini Comics. People should check out Colt's interviews. He's getting these facts straight from the source. Thank you, Rob. Thank you so much. Of course, Rob has a wonderful interview on Dad at Arms channel. Definitely check out and definitely give them a like and give Colt a like and a follow over there, my friends. Ramos Prime 1982. I'll tell you, Jay, I will give Revolution a chance, but only one. All right, again,
that's fair. That's valid.
You don't have to though. I mean, it's dude. Again, we're all friends here, right? Like we're all just talking. It's just we can talk. We can talk, my friend. Eternity Royalty. Thank you, Colt. Exactly. Story continuation. A true Motu van. Colt gets a round of applause. Thank you, Colt.
Oh, thank you.
Sideswipe. He F-bombed the fans directly. Okay.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And the truth is, he does that all the time. Like, again, Kevin Smith is Kevin Smith, and you know what? That's not condoning, and that's not giving him a pass. But yeah, sure. And I said, He probably does owe everybody an apology. I'm pretty sure he does. Sensei Jeff, thank you both. Thank you, my friend. You're awesome. Sideswipe, exactly like how. Yes, exactly, my friend. We're all getting there, brother. We're all getting there. Rob, that toy room is sick. Oh, Rob, I didn't know you had a new toy room. That's awesome. Earl Potts, thank you, Earl, for the $5 super chat, my friend. You're awesome. Like the fact you stream live on my life schedule. As a big, I'm not sure I read that. I like the fact that you stream live on my life. Oh, okay. I say I'm glad too. This time is an interesting time because see, when I first started this channel, just as a bit of an aside, when I first started this channel, I do stream at 2 different times. I stream tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today, for whatever strange thing I had in my head, I figured that it would be easier for other people on the other side of the globe to watch this episode if I stream at 1 o'clock in the morning, and it seems to have worked because Earl, I'm doing it on your time, brother. I'm doing it on your time. As a big Motu fan, I've been since 3 years old. I'm selective on what figures I buy based on my favorite. There you go, my friend. Again, that's the way to save. Dude, you're doing it smartly. You can save money. I can't.
Yep.
Thank you again for the $5 super chat, my friend. The felon attorney. Oh my God, you just showed up. Nothing. You missed nothing. You're right. You're right on time, dude. You're right on time. You're awesome. Rufus Roger. We're from Philly and Jersey. The F-bomb is a love language.
There it is.
There it is. Neil Hutchahad, I find Revolution very much a continuation compared a reimagining CGI or reboot. In a sense, yes, those are 2 very, very different departures. So I hear you, Neil, and thank you. That's I like it, and I hope you enjoyed it too. Rob, you're just killing it tonight. Juan Soto, Teela felt like she was 5 years older than Adam. Maybe she is. I mean, really, we don't know.
We don't. Well, the Filmation established that they're basically the same age.
Yeah.
In the Filmation series, we see Adam and Adora celebrate their birthday on the Christmas special. That's how that whole thing starts. And they were turning 19.
Okay. Yep.
They were celebrating their 19th birthday, so we know for sure that Adam and Adora are 19 years old in the Filmation series at some point.
Yep.
Teela, she might be older than Adam. She might be younger than Adam. The only thing we have, from the series Bibles and things like that, the documents that support the show, the general consensus is that they are roughly the same age, give or take a year to a few months.
Yeah.
So.
And here's the age is just a number. If
sure.
If you fall in love with somebody who's 5 years your senior, who's to stop you, right? Now, if you're 12 and they're 21, we might have a problem.
Consenting adults.
we might have a problem there. Warriors Toys. That was a joke, everybody. That was a joke. Warriors Toys. Kids are glued to the tablets. So the series will take a hit. Sadly, when they want Pokemon figs and video games more. You know what? Everyone continues to say that, and yet the biggest market for Mattel and Hasbro is kids. They're not $1 billion company based on adults' toys. They're not, because I still, not to flex, but we still have Toys R Us up here, and out of the entire
that's very much a flex, man.
Out of the God damn it! Out of the entire store, only 4 aisles are dedicated to what you would call adult collectibles. The rest of the store, which is huge, and again, that wasn't supposed to be a flex, but I guess it is kids' toys. Derek Kuto, why is Prince Adam always much smaller than Teela? In the cartoon, Prince Adam was jacked. So
the reason Prince Adam is jacked in the Filmation cartoon is,
toys
to save money on roids.
Toys.
No, it was to save money on the animation process.
It's
they were churning out these animation episodes so quickly that they had methods in place to make it easier. And so if the same basic model type for He-Man and Prince Adam was the same, all they had to do was change the coloring and the costume with their cells, with the animation cells. Yep. In the beginning, the plan was always that Adam was going to be smaller than He-Man, but when it got to, like I said, the animation process, that didn't quite work out. But we've seen in 2000X, we've seen in the comics, we've seen in Revelation that he is smaller.
Yeah, and I was going to say that too. I was going to say in 2000X, he's much smaller.
Yeah.
He's not smaller than Teela, but he is much smaller.
No, I mean, even in Revelation, where Teela is, she's got muscles in Revelation, but they're still the same size.
Yeah,
I mean, they're roughly the same size.
Earl Potts, Trapjaw's my favorite, and glad he's behind you. Thank you so much, my friend. You're awesome. Neil Hunter Hyde. Personally, I'd be very satisfied with. I'm very satisfied with Revolution. It is a new Motu after all. As for the whole Teela controversy, she is a master of the universe, and the show wasn't titled He-Man. Exactly.
Yep.
There are multiple masters of the universe. Even Skeletor could be considered a master of the universe. They're all in play for that title. That's why Skeletor. That's why Castle Grayskull is a battleground, because the one who controls the power of Grayskull can become the master of the universe. That's what the movie showed us. Sensei Jeff, $4.98. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, my friend. Before we can crash out asleep, let's give these guys some super chat. Dude, you're awesome. Thank you so much. But don't forget, please head over to Dad at Arms YouTube channel. Give him a like and a follow. Tell him that you appreciate his channel, because honestly, watch some of those wonderful interviews that he's got. It's absolutely amazing. Natural Nate Marvel, again, thank you for the $5 super chat, my friend. I really wanted the WCW Oscar Mayer Hulk. Don't we all, Natural Nate Marvel? Don't we all? Primate 7 even 6. Good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? How are you doing tonight? So many guys, so many wonderful friends here. Neil Hunter Hyde. I mean, girls do tend to mature sooner than guys, myself included.
That's true.
There you go. Monsoto. But in the water, the water in Eternia makes you a Hulk. It does. Apparently, it does.
Maybe it's because Adam is half Earthling, but that's why he's not as yoked as a lot of the other male characters in the franchise.
I just think the chosen one can bring out the worst in him. Sensei Jeff, I like 2000X Adam wasn't giant, but it wasn't scrawny. Yeah, this is true.
It's a good design.
And he could fight. It's just, he ended up having to remove himself from that to make He-Man seem even more prominent. Runners from 1982. Prince Adam was jacked in the old comic too. Yes,
he was, because those original comics. those original comics were based on the Filmation interpretation of him.
Come on, seriously. Honestly,
the blue tunic, Adam with the blue tunic in the early DC.
It's
the early 80s DC comics.
It's the Superman syndrome. You've got Adam, and then you've got He-Man, and you've got He-Man and Adam. You got like the body types are right there. I mean, it's right there. It's in your face. But what are you supposed to do? Who's first? Who's next? Right? Teela, you can't figure that out. Come on, they're the same person for crying out loud.
Okay, so no. Here is something really cool. I think you guys will like this. So in the there is an explanation why people don't recognize Prince Adam as He-Man. A canonical explanation in the classics biographies. They revealed that the reason for that is that as Adam was being He-Man, and as he was beginning to grow and to be, his physical appearance was taking on that of He-Man as he matured and grew older and stuff like that. Realizing that it was getting harder for him to conceal the secret, the sorceress of Grayskull, or the sorceress of Gray. I can't talk, man. The sorceress. Okay. Let's just say that the sorceress applied magic to the transformation, so that when he transforms, the magic affects him, so that people who don't know his secret, people like Teela, when he is He-Man, the magic conceals his identity and makes him look more barbaric than Prince Adam. And this was because Teela was starting to notice that Prince Adam wasn't the lazy person that he always pretended to be. She was starting to see his heroics. They would come out. He couldn't help himself sometimes being a hero. And she was starting to see that. And so the secret was in danger of being revealed. And so the magic adapted to that particular problem, and
it
concealed his identity.
It's the fantasy enchantment. Enchantment. Everybody's put under enchantment. So
and the meta commentary is that he looks the same to us because we know his secret as the audience. So
again, they've broken the fourth wall. The third wall, fourth wall. I can't even remember. Derek Kuto. I love how the comic when Keldor turned into He-Man, he looked just like He-Man. I mean, like it's all there. 2000X He-Man is my favorite. Adam is my favorite, and Prince Adam has always been my favorite. There you go, Neil.
That's awesome.
Sensei Jeff, I want the Filmation He-Man. So cool. honestly, dude, I'm so glad I got him. Like that was the re-release by Super 7, and I couldn't pass him up. So yeah, I hope you find him. No one should be without a Filmation He-Man. Ramos Prime 1982. Queen Marlena was the only one who knew because as a mother she knows. This is true.
Yeah,
she's always known.
That she had mother's intuition.
She knows both of them. She knows both their secrets. And
that was in the Rainbow Warrior episode where that's revealed that she knows that he is.
I think they sort of hinted at that as well a couple of times in the Filmation. They never actually went out and like straight up said it, but she sort of said, a mother always knows, right? She said that a couple of times, right?
It was specifically in the Rainbow Warrior episode where that happens.
Juan Soto, He-Man's skin color is different from that. Yes, it is. It is
the magic tan, man.
That freaking
by lightning.
It's better than a tanning salon. Just bang, and they fry him, man. He's literally fried. It's just crazy. Primate 76, Snake Mountain was sold out in under 5 minutes on Mattel Creations. That was crazy, like the old times, dude. That's insane. I couldn't freaking believe it. It was ridiculous. Rufus Roger, thank you for the $5. Oh, way to go. There it is. Rufus Roger, thank you for the $5 super chat, my friend. Motu is responsible for an entire generation not wearing pink. He-Man kicked ass as he put on a pink vest, and then he's a wimp. They did it on purpose, dude. I wear pink now, man. I mean, I wear pink.
Pink's a good color. I was wearing a pink polo shirt when I first met my wife.
There you go.
Look at me now.
It helped. It did help. Felon attorney. Why does Cringer become such a dick when he becomes Battle Cat, dude?
Exactly he taps into that primal side.
That's exactly the way he is. He's a freaking tiger, man. He's a tiger. He's got tiger blood. He's got the tiger blood in him, man. He's got the tiger blood. Neil had to hide. So Sorceress's magic is like the language converter from the TARDIS on Doctor Who. Jeez Louise. Yes, sure. It masks us all. It disguises everybody. Jim Gillespie, what's going on, my friend? Remember, in the early DC comics, when He-Man teamed up with Superman, a muscular Adam had to go into a cave to change his clothes. There was no magical transformation. Again, so many different variations of He-Man.
There's certain versions where he has to strike his sword against a rock to transform. He doesn't say by the power of Grayskull. He hits his sword against a rock.
Boing. Earl Potts, what's everybody's Grail they've had ever since childhood? Mine is a minty comic I got at the AMC from The Secret of the Sword. Dude, that's awesome.
That's awesome, man.
That is freaking awesome. I don't know. You go first.
A Grail item?
You go first.
I do have some of those original comics, the original DC comics. I still have my original He-Man, Teela, Skeletor, and Evil one.
Oh, so great. So great. The fellow attorney, Adam wore salmon, not pink. Of course, it's salmon. Of course. Anyone knows it's salmon. This is. What are you doing here? Wreck-It Ralph. A little bit of Wreck-It Ralph right there. For me, is that your Grail? Your childhood?
I don't know if I have a Grail. Okay. Full disclosure, when I was a kid, I got in trouble and my mom boxed up all my He-Man toys, play sets, everything. Oh. I was grounded from him for a week. That was the rule because I'd gotten in trouble. My dad accidentally took that box of toys to the thrift store and donated them.
No.
And I never saw him again.
Oh, geez.
So the only ones that I have, because I had them hidden under my bed, were He-Man, Skeletor, Teela, and Evil. And
wow. So, that is so great. I actually still do have He-Man, Duncan, Teela. I'm literally pointing them right now. They're all Castle Grace. They're all in Snake Mountain right now. I still have Skeletor. I can't even believe I still have these Skeletor. But my mom was really good at that. Skeletor, Duncan, Zodak, Teela, and my favorite Man-Who-Faces. They're all still here, and I have a few others downstairs. Flying Fist, He-Man, and stuff like that. In terms of Grail, honestly, yeah, I have to be with Colt. I have so many favorite toys that have come and gone throughout the years. But a recent Grail that I got was Unicron. He's up there. The thing, the HasLab Unicron. You can
nice.
There he is. You can sort of see him. He's right there. Yeah, that to me, I didn't care about the price. I had to have him, and that is my Grail. It's a recent Grail, but that's my Grail. In terms of a vintage Grail, I do love my Master of the Universe figures, like just like Colt. I love the Masters Universe figures. 100%.
I guess for a modern Grail, I mean, I've got this bad boy here.
Woo! Slime Pit He-Man. Oh, no, it's Horde Zombie He-Man. Nice.
Horde Zombie. I mean, it's Slime Pit He-Man, but
it's still Slime Pit He-Man.
I guess that would be my one of my favorite items. Well, I mean, I've got a few Ninja Turtle things. I've got my original sewer playset from the Ninja Turtles toy line, and I've got the 4-pack of the very first NECA Mirage Ninja Turtles with their black and white.
Oh yeah,
those
are really nice.
They're still in the box.
Oh, it's really nice.
They're right up there on my shelf there.
Primate 76. Oh, I see. well, I think we're gonna do that. I mean, like as another modern Grail, I had to have the come on.
There he is, man.
We never ever. This was a dream when it came out.
Do you have the Golden God?
Of course I do. I had to get the whole line. I had to grab him. There was no freaking. There was no way I was gonna not. There we go. There you go. Primate 76. Dave.
Yeah.
There you go. How's that, Dave? You like
beautiful figures.
You like
beautiful
it, Dave?
Figures.
There you go, Dave. There you go, Dave. And of course, we gotta bring in Rebel Leader He-Man. I mean, like, come on. Yeah. I was gonna. You know what? I've been cleaning. I've been getting my toy room ready. I began my toy room ready, and I swore that the moment I had my toy room ready, these were going to be cracked open, and then Mattel goes and issues the Masterverse versions. I'm like, screw it, I'm leaving these inside their boxes, right?
Wise decision.
Because that Skeletor looks awesome. That Skeletor looks exactly like Frank Langella. This one, it's not bad, but it's not Frank Langella. And He-Man is not He-Man. But Ramen Toy is coming to the rescue on that, so it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Runimus Prime, one of my grails is Transformers #1 Marvel Comics. Nice.
Awesome.
Very, very nice. Sideswipe. Grail, Vintage Dragon Blaster, and Buddy bought my mint on card still in 1997. Wow.
That's awesome.
Dude, that's a memory. That's a memory, and that will be with you for a while. Good stuff. Derek Kuto, can you show us your best favorite figure in your awesome? We're gonna be here all night, bro. It's a bad idea. We both just showed some crazy stuff, so I hope you enjoyed that. Earl Potts, my dad's new wife.
Oh, no.
Are you kidding me?
That's
Are you kidding me, dude? That is. I'm sorry you had to go through that. That's fucking terrible. I'll say it that way. That's fucking terrible. Did she stick around? Like, that's just ridiculous. Breaststroke. I got Origins, Boltman, and Hypno. I think they look great, and like cousins, the more characters to fill out the world is plus. You know what? Again, it's not my cup of tea really, but I'm still collecting them all. And if you love, if you love them, the Rulers of the Sun, by all means, that's beautiful. Felon Attorney. My Grail, I need to sit in a hydrogen peroxide LED bath is the Origin G1 Jetfire. Holy crap. Wow, you're sacrificing a lot for that, dude. You know what? You want a Valkyrie. You want a Macross Valkyrie, dude. That's what you're talking about right there. Attorney Royalty. Complete vintage Scareglow from my childhood. Wow. But Grail is but my Grail now is Lou Scheimer, vintage Orko, with a letter from him about loving Motu on Filmation letterhead. I got back in 2002, dude.
That's very cool.
Very cool. That is freaking awesome. Holy crap. Derek, I love that that Horde Zombie He-Man classic. Was the most fun to collect for me, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes,
this is a rad figure.
He looks incredible. Holy crap. Absolutely. Rufus Roger, I have my Spider-Man TAS phone. It's still in the box. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. Artemis Prime, Modern Grail, Transformers Element Optimus Prime. Nice. Very, very cool.
Do t-shirts count?
Yeah, t-shirts can count.
I have a t-shirt from when I was 5 years old hanging on my wall.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna spin the camera real quick for you guys.
William Dread, my Grail is coming in March. Nice.
There it is right there. It's in that frame.
Yeah, I see it. Oh, that's sweet. Is that Battle Cat and He-Man?
Battle Cat and He-Man, and he's got the whirlwind thing. I can't think of the name of it right now. That spinning weapon that he has.
The Flying Fist He-Man.
Smash Blade thing.
Yeah. The film attorney. Somehow I got my mail away from my mail away Spy G1 mini Transformers for the open door for Elijah on Passover in 1985. Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so guys, thank you again for so many wonderful comments. You guys are amazing. Private 76, Jay, can you please show us the flip bar figure behind you? I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
I don't see it. I don't see anything.
What are you talking about? I don't like. You guys are seeing something I'm not seeing. What are you talking about? I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. No idea whatsoever. Dave, what are you talking about, Dave? I have no idea. I have no freaking clue what you're talking about. Wink. I have no idea what you're talking about, Dave. No idea. And there's a reason I have no idea what you're talking about. You'll find out in a week. Okay, you'll find out in a week why I don't know what you're talking about. Knights of Old, Jay. What was the Carter figure you just showed us with the skull face? What? What do you mean? Seriously? You're kidding, right?
The Dark Despot Skeletor? Movie Skeletor?
Was it, or was it the God Skeletor? Okay, fine. I'll do both. Yeah, this is Master Universe Classics. Skeletor, Dark Despot Skeletor. Now that is not Frank Langella's face. I have no idea who that is, but he's still freaking cool. So basically, this goes for way too much money now. So don't bother. Just go ahead, do yourself a favor, and pick up the Masterverse version, which is literally like a tenth.
It looks good.
A tenth of what this is right now.
Yeah, and it looks good. The Masterverse Skeletor looks really good.
Masterverse Skeletor looks like Frank Langella. He looks like Frank Langella. Right now, just to actually, I'm going to let you do it, Colt. Why don't you show him the gold Skeletor? That way, we're all happy. So yeah, there's gold Skeletor. Again, that's when he transforms. Okay.
Yeah, at the end of the movie.
That's right. Dr. Sea Dog. Hi, Brushroke. Hey, what's going on? Everyone's talking to each other. A sideswipe. I told my mom during every tornado warning I wouldn't go to the basement without my B-Man, my He-Man, my He-Man. Dude, you need that typo. Yeah, dude, you need that security blanket, man. It's what keeps you alive. Mad Hatter is in the house. What's going on, Hatter? When flipping on eBay, I always put the word Grail in the title.
That's awesome.
What are you talking about, Hatter? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea. No idea what you're talking about. I don't know why my head's moving this way. I have no idea. I have no freaking clue what you're talking about. All right, guys. Thank you again for making such wonderful comments. It's been great going down memory lane with everybody here. It's so much fun. Natural Name Marvel, Mad Hatter. When are you going to show up? When are you going to show up at Frankenstein? Are you showing up at Frankenstein's tomorrow? Ooh, something showing up at Frankenstein's? That would be nice. I did want to talk a little bit about an announcement that happened today. Our good friends over at what's it called? Toy Habits actually covered this. And of course, this is pretty big news for many of us who are in the Motu community. Earlier today, if I share the screen, on adultcollector.org, which is another wonderful fan channel that everybody should definitely check out. They do fan community. Sorry, they cover pretty much everything Master Universe related, as well as G.I. Joe, Transformers, all of the wonderful properties we love as kids. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Definitely give them a like and a follow. Tell them that Jay sent you, and tell them the Colt sent you. Today they did cover a multiple number of things, including the Snake Mountain card art, box art, which is absolutely amazing. Definitely, guys, don't sleep on that. Reserve your copy today. You're going to regret it if you miss out on Snake Mountain. Trust me. But the bigger news for today was they actually put out an article in big, bold letters. And I'm going to bring this up. It said... Oh, wait. Somebody named Colt just messaged me. I don't know who that is.
That was me.
You think? In big, bold letters, Guys, check this out. This is amazing. Confirmed. New Origins and Masterverse figures will be sold in retail stores, everybody. Much to the contrary of someone's of a good friend of the channel. I'm not gonna shy away from that. Scott Knightlake has been very adamant that the line was probably going to end, this past April. That did not happen, and he has since admitted that he might have been wrong. But then continues to say that we shall see. But that's fine. That's fine. But today, 10 hours ago, adultcollector.org has posted that they had an interview with some brand managers at Mattel confirming this very thing. So let's go ahead and read this passage and we'll discuss it. This past weekend, I had a chance to conduct a Q&A with the brand team at Mattel working to bring us all these wonderful Master Universe toys. The team dispelled recent rumors confirming that to me that the new Origins and Masterverse figures will be sold in retail stores such as Walmart, Target, and not just online. Holy crap. Colt, this is a dream come true for many
Absolutely.
of us. I mean, wow.
Absolutely.
Wow. This is just absolutely crazy. It goes on to say, our Motu Day pre-sales will be fans' first opportunity to purchase Snake Mountain. The iconic playset that was yesterday, by the way. The iconic playset will be sold online and in select retail stores this holiday season as well. So, guys, that's amazing. If they happen to sell out, all you have to do is wait till the holiday season, and it looks like stock for Snake Mountain will be hitting retail shelves. So rest assured, it goes on saying, we have a lot more Origins and Masterverse figures in the pipeline. Yes. Oh my God.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's freaking awesome. That is freaking awesome. Holy crap.
I think that's it's one of those things where it's good to hear it from Mattel themselves. There's been so many rumors about the line ending and things like that it's good for the company to just get out in front of everybody and say, hey, this is the plan, this is what's going on. That's what people want to hear. That's what people need to hear.
Yeah. So. Again, there's so much uncertainty right now, but people are chomping at the bit to find out because we're all fans of this wonderful brand. We're working close with our retail partners, including Walmart and Target, to make way for fresh product in the fall. Oh my God, that's crazy. That is nuts. However, in some instances, stores may need to work through their current inventory before bringing in the newness. Was that really a quote? I don't think that was. But we can't wait for the fans to get their hands on their latest Motu releases. Oh my God. That's just incredible. That is just absolutely ridiculous. Holy crap. And of course, adultcollector.org went out to showcase this cross sell of all the figures that were dropped just prior, right?
Yeah. The last big announcement they did
2 weeks ago. All these wonderful figures, and that my friends is just absolutely prime. Okay, that is prime. Wow. Holy crap. That is crazy. Hatter is still I know it's been ages since I've been, and I want to go back to clean up on Origins. Yes. That's something we're all hoping for. Our people are always in exile. This just seems to be a thing. And lastly, wait. So Snake Mountain is out before Eternia? Yes. Snake Mountain will probably be out. Probably the first estimate was August. That was the first estimate, but that got revised. I got a message from Amazon saying that they actually don't know when it's being released yet. So we shall see. But yeah, this is excellent news. This is excellent news for all Master Universe fans, and really does dispel many of the rumors that were happening. And to his credit, and I will say it this way, Scott Knightlake has never wavered from his from his position, and you have to respect that. You have to respect the man for sticking up for what he says and holding the line. And Scott's always been a wonderful guest on this show, and he is a wonderful resource. You know what I mean? And people really do give him a hard time. Admittedly, he doesn't exactly do himself any favors, but you know what? Honestly, at the very least, you have to respect a man for continuing to say what he stand by what he said. You know, that's integrity. That really is integrity. Um, he needs to actually, start coming to the dark side. You know, he's got to join the rest of us now. I think that's the next step for Scott. That's the next step for Scott. The felon attorney Motu ownership was always kind of weird. Yeah, this is it continues to be weird, but Scott's always said that it's been sold to Universal, which, what do they have to do with toys, right? And I even, and the way I've always said it, even if they did sell it to Universal, I have a funny feeling that they wouldn't have sold it to them without putting first right of refusal for the toys, because it just makes sense. They're making money for them. Why would they not do that? That's always been my assertion. I don't know if that's actually has any merit to that. I really don't. I really have no idea. Action figure Autorium. I've done 2 videos on who owns Motu. Turns out not weird at all. Well, brother, you know what, guys? Head over to Action Figure Autorium and maybe we'll get some insights in there.
Yeah.
I would be very interested to see that particular video. Sideswipe. Kicking shirts. See, where was it from?
I don't remember. I got it online somewhere. It's Trogdor, man. The Burninator.
Sorry, I'm confused. Who is that?
It's Trogdor. It's a Flash tune, I guess, from the early 2000s. Homestar Runner, homestarrunner.com.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Good times, man.
It looks pretty cool. Earl Potts, Matt Hatter makes all the makes me LOL all the time. Love Flipper Frank. Yeah, man, of course. Hatter's always a crowd pleaser. Sensei Jeff. In Scott's defense, maybe all the hype and outrage of Motu Origins being canceled saved the brand. Either that or blowing on that eyelash a week ago single-handedly saved the line. You're all welcome. Thank you, Sensei Jeff. You're a gem. You're a gem, my friend. Unicron's left nut. Scott will convince his followers that the line is dead again in a couple of months. Thank you, Unicron's left nut. Always great to have your insights on that, my friend. The felon attorney. When is my freaking HasLab His Tent coming? Anybody have any ETA? It's supposed to be next year, March. I believe that's the estimated time of arrival. Don't quote me on that, by the way. Mario Tovar. Hello there. Just got home from watching Return of the Jedi at my local. Awesome. Just awesome.
Awesome.
Disneyland neighborhood. Mario, of course, is a wonderful follow, a friend of the channel. He's got a great Instagram page. Definitely give him a like and a follow if you love Disney parks. Wonderful Instagram, and of course, good friend of the channel. Attorney Aurora, Scott, the toy guru. Easy, brother. Literally told us to come after him if he was so he has to understand that it's justified. Okay, again, he's eating crow right now, and he says so. He puts it in every single one of his videos now. So, as long as it's all done in good fun. Again, Lord Hoagie, he's saying the new Indiana Jones line won't last now. You know what? Don't get me wrong. It's not. It hasn't been the best launch for them either. Like it's the look is not good. Like the look is not good for a lot of Hasbro toys, to be honest with you. So, you never know. You never know. But we shall see. We shall see. Lord Hoagie, Trogdor. Oh, you got some fans here. You got
Trogdor gets people going.
You got a kinship here. You got a kinship. I'll believe it when I can buy it at retail. That's what I keep saying about the Master Universe movie. I'll believe it when I see it, my friend. Yeah. John Brooks is in the house. What's going on, John? All the way from the Philippines, my friend. Normally, toys like Motu O are on the shelves before stores in the West, but a little bit more expensive. I'm guessing I'll have to pay $100 for Snake Mountain. Brother, that's what I'm going to be paying. $120, I'm pretty sure. Canadian. Yeah. Canadian. Colt knows that pain. He was up here for a while. Usual Mike TV, what's going on, Usual Mike? Good to see you as always, my friend. Hey, Mega J, just got home from work. Great to catch you live. Always great to see our good friend, Usual Mike Television. Guys, if you're into Star Wars or G.I. Joe, definitely give Usual Mike Television a like and a follow. He's awesome. Extendar. Still waiting for my Wave 11 Cobra Khan Ratlore from Entertainment Earth. Dude, we're all waiting for that. They canceled my full box set, and I had to order them individually. But have faith. It will show up eventually. The Felon Attorney. Was it the original Return of the Jedi or the special edition? It's not going to be the original, dude. I'm pretty sure. I think.
Does that even exist anymore?
I think Lucas burned the last copy.
Yeah.
I think he freaking
It's all
burned
special editions.
which is a shame. It really is a shame.
Yeah.
No, actually, no. I believe there is one confirmed reel left in the archive at the Skywalker Ranch.
Yeah.
But he refuses to give it to the Smithsonian. Breaststroke. Still waiting for tongue lasher from EE. They must be on the slow boat from China. You're probably right. You're probably right. Lord Hoagie, I'll never forgive my local theater for not showing Return of the Jedi re-release. I hear you, brother. Sometimes you got to go outside of your city. Primate 76, my holy grail was crunching. Oh, Dave, I love you, man. I love you, Dave. But Jay's stolen it. That was not cool, Jay. My little sister is coming for you. You guys are welcome. Bring it on. Bring it on. I'd love to see you guys here. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate that. The fellow attorney, Hatter said I shouldn't bother with Origins because I can't get Koldar. That's not what he said. He didn't say that. Extendar. Kathleen Kennedy at Disney was destroying the franchise. Are we going to go there tonight? Like, seriously, we're going all over the place right now. You know what? I don't want to open up another can of worms. That one's just going to get me in trouble because I agree with you. D. Dixon, indie toys are for all of us old creators. The new movie will not make a difference. It looks like garbage. You know, again, don't knock it till you try, please. I'm going to watch it. You know, it's always great to see Harrison Ford, one of the great actors of our time and still around. You know, he's a gem. He really is a gem. Guys, you know what? It's been awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. This has been great. I want to thank my very special guest, Dad at Arms, for being here tonight. You know, definitely give his channel a like and a follow. He has some great interviews on there right now, including, of course, some voice actors, some artists, even Master of the Mini Comics is on there. So definitely, you're going to have a great time. Definitely head over to Dad at Arms. Colt, please let everybody know how they can reach you and what do you have coming up next on your schedule.
So I kind of just finished up. The latest video I have up there is with Penny Dreadful and Eric Marshall, who were the people that took over the official Masters of the Universe Classics bios after Scott left Mattel. They also were influential and responsible for doing many of the Dark Horse books, including the newspaper comic strips. They helped out with, I believe they helped out with Pixel Dan's toy book. Just massive contributions to the fan community. So that's the most current episode that's up there. I do have some guests lined up. Not quite ready to say who they are, just in case some things fall through. But I mean, I've got some cool people that are going to be coming on that have good things to say about Masters of the Universe. And I think my body of work speaks for itself. So yeah, I'm just Dad at Arms on YouTube. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I just like talking about He-Man and Masters of the Universe and showing off toys and all kinds of stuff like that. So yeah, if you guys are into that kind of stuff, I'd appreciate having you aboard. So just thanks for having me on, Jay. I think you're muted, man.
You do that so. This is a professional show, everybody. We're so professional here. I never make any mistakes. Never make any mistakes at all. This is my.
It was perfect.
Perfect. That's perfect. This whole show is perfect. Nobody's perfect. It's all good. This is what makes live. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Colt, thank you so much, man. Like, honestly, everything you do for the community. Thank you for the wonderful interviews. It's so much fun. Definitely, guys. Definitely head over to Dad at Arms on YouTube. Give him a like and a follow. Tell him I sent you, and you're gonna have a blast. Last comments before we log off. Primate 7-6. Goodbye and good vibes. Thank you, my friend. The film attorney. We need Ocean's 11. That Marin County Ranch to relive the original Return of the Jedi. I can believe Clooney and Jay can be in Matt. Clooney and Jay, sorry, I can be George Clooney and Jay can be Matt Damon. Sure, why not? I'm a bumbling idiot. I would love to have to rely on my mom to get me out of trouble. That would be great. Happens today anyway. So Unicron's Left Night. Mattel Creations is holding out on me, dude. They're holding out on everybody. But by the way, guys, if you haven't packed, if you're interested in that WCW Nitro ring, you better do it now because it's it's almost out of time. Primate 76, good vibes and goodbye and good vibes to everybody. Thank you, my friend. Sensei Jeff, fun chat. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Lord Hoagie, I'll just end up doing audio. Oh my gosh. Brushstrokes, good journey to all you Master Universe. Good journey to you too, my friend. Felon attorney, I think I watched his interview with a couple of the couple from
they were
Utah who did the Teela short. Loved that short. There you go, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
A geek proud and good morning. Good morning to you too, Felon attorney. Sensei Jeff, Dad at Arms, happy to follow. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Lord Hoagie, Elliot Gold, night all. Good night to you too, Lord Hoagie. Hyun, good to see you, my friend. Have a good day. Jay, see you next time. See you too, Hyun. Attorney and Royalty, hope you had a fantastic Motu day. Thank you, my friend. It's been a pleasure. Sensei Jeff, not perfect, but fun. No, we're perfect. We are perfect here. We are actually no, of course we're not perfect. Thank you, Sensei Jeff. Attorney Royalty, enjoyed this live, Jay. Appreciate you and Colt both. Good journey to you too. Good journey, my friend. Have a wonderful night. Brushstrokes, I need to see some cosplay of Sorceress Evelyn for me personally, dude. I'm going to PowerCon. I'll see you there, brother. I'll see you there. Colt, are you going to PowerCon this year?
I don't. Unfortunately, my job, I'm a farmer, and so summer is super busy. I cannot leave for conventions.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, my friend.
But that's how it is. What?
You're providing everything we need here in this country, man. Like seriously, thank you so much for your work, dude.
Oh, thank you.
You guys get shit on too much, man. Like, honestly, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be around. Seriously, nobody appreciates you guys. Like honestly, if nobody's told you that yet, Colt, thank you. Like seriously, thank you.
Thank you.
Neil Hunter, hi. Thanks, Mega J and Colt. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you. Action figure Autorium. The best hair and beard on YouTube, Jay. Dude, you know what? We got one right here too. Don't spend the love, my friend. Spend the love. But good to see you, Action Figure Autorium. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you're all doing well, staying safe. Thank you so much for this, Colt. It's been an absolute pleasure. And just to give my Patreon and channel member supporters some love. Of course, I don't have it ready. I never do, but I'm going to try again. I suck at this, by the way. Guys, I want to thank my Patreon supporters for all the support that they provide to me. Honestly, guys, if it wasn't for these guys, we would. They help me make wonderful episodes every single week, and I couldn't do it without them. They are the best. And what happened to the other one? Oh my God, did I just lose it? Seriously? How the hell does that even happen? There it is. I found it. See, I'm totally professional, guys. I do this every day. I know what I'm doing. I have no freaking clue what I'm doing. I'm absolutely an idiot. And of course, I do have to thank my channel members for all of their support, guys. If you are interested in helping support the channel, please consider checking out my Patreon and my channel members page. You can become a channel member right here on Mega J Retro or on MJR Collector. And of course, if you're interested in becoming a Patreon member, please check out my Patreon page. It's Mega J Retro on Patreon. Guys, the patrons of the channel help me make wonderful episodes every single week, and I couldn't do it without them. They are the best. Thank you so much for your support, everybody. It really means the world to me. Guys, thanks again. Huge thanks to Colt, the Dad at Arms, for being here tonight. Wonderful. Definitely give him a like and a follow. Tell him that Jay sent you. And thank you guys for being such wonderful, wonderful, and understanding. Okay, we can all get along, guys. That's really the point of tonight's discussion. We can all get along. Last comments before we log off. John Brooks, has anyone seen the new Transformers Rise? We got that earlier. I'm going to watch it right now. Trust me. Just before I go to bed, I'm going to watch it. But from what I understand, it's amazing. And I heard that this guy's entire body makes an appearance somehow. Unicron's left nut, but I thought food just appeared on shelves.
It's a lot of hard work.
Don't take that the wrong way, Colt. Like seriously.
No, I don't.
Don't take that the wrong way.
That's funny.
Fellow attorney, thanks for the hard work for you both. Well, thank you, my friend. It's been a pleasure. It's free in Doctor Strange. Yeah, food is free in Doctor Strange. Apparently not. You know, Papa Pizza doesn't give away free food. Matt Diamond, yeah, Matt Diamond. I'll be your bumbling idiot anytime, fellow attorney. Neil Hunter High just pulled up to the house, gonna catch the first half of the replay. Thank you, Neil. You're a gem, my friend, always. D. Dixon, who else is watching the replay and the feed is after the feed is off? I'm going to bed. I don't know about the rest of you. It's 3 a.m. over here. Colt's just reaching midnight. I'm dead on my feet, and he's got an early morning tomorrow. Just so everybody knows. Anyway,
yeah, I've got about 4 hours to go.
Yeah, Unicron's left nut. Yes, I was joking. Farmers are awesome. We knew that.
Oh, I know that. No
D.
worries.
Dixon, I'm at the head of the video. That's that. Of course you did, D. Dixon. Guys, I hope you're all doing well, staying safe, and as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Good journey, everybody. Geek proud.